Hey City Church, this is Taylor, and I'm here to bring you a Devo. So turn to Colossians 3. Christ's resurrection is your resurrection too. This is why we are to yearn for all that is above, for that's where Christ sits enthroned at the place of all power, honor, and authority. Yes, feast on all the treasures of the heavenly realm and fill your thoughts with heavenly realities, not with the distractions of the natural realm. So I really felt like I was supposed to talk about how much people watch the news lately, and it just really is really bad. It just seems like there's a difference between, kind of wanting to stay informed or needing to stay informed, and to a point where, you're kind of addicted. And it's just such a distraction from what you actually need to know. We are not on a need to know basis from the news, right? Because all we need to know is his voice. And it says in John 2:10 that we are his sheep and that we know his voice and follow it. And so that's what we need to know, right? And to remember that Christ sits enthroned at the place of all power, honor, and authority. And so this need to watch the news and be in step with every detail is just, I just feel like it is kind of in a moment, a blind spot of forgetting that, no, Christ sits enthroned, right? I need to, in verse 2, it says, feast on all the treasures of the heavenly realm. We cannot be caught feasting on the news to a point in your heart where you need it to stay informed and you need to know what's going on. And if it gets some level of fear reaction out of you or worry, just go back to the word and consume his word, right? And remember that he is not surprised by anything, right? He is the everlasting God, and he literally sits on the throne right now, and you know the end of the story. So we can be strong and courageous, right? We can have peace in the midst of a storm and feast on all the treasures in the heavenly realm, right? We can sit at the table in the presence of our enemies and consume his word and be completely still with him. Like, we need to just be still and know that he is God, and let that chaos of all the news and everything that's going on, like, that can swirl around you all at once, but it does not have to dictate what you do and how you think, because it says, fill your thoughts with heavenly realities. If you're having a hard time with that, just ask him, Lord, fill my thoughts. These things make me nervous. Fill my thoughts. I'm fearful of what's going to happen next, or whatever. Fill my thoughts. That is natural, and you are supernatural. You know what's going on. Fill my thoughts. So I asked the Lord, what's up with, why am I thinking about this? And he was like, Taylor, I want you to talk about, there's a weight distribution problem. That we're putting a lot of weight on what the news says and what's happening next and how we feel, versus how much weight the word of God and what I think will happen, and what I think in general, right? That has to have the most weight. And so when we remember that Christ sits at the place of all power, honor, and authority, it really puts all my emotions and thoughts and it kind of sifts them and aligns them. And I feel like it really, even just remembering his truths, that alone helps me take every thought captive under the obedience of Christ, because it's like, okay, I just need to realign where things are, because I was just putting them out of place and I got caught up for a minute. But once I consume his word, then I'm back on track. And so I just wanted to encourage you guys that you can literally be still and know that he's God, and consume his word in the midst of any storm. And so, hope you guys enjoyed that and have a great weekend.